Today we're diving deep into the heart of the happiest place on Earth, but with a twist. We're uncovering the mysteries of the Magic Kingdom, exploring the ghostly legends and eerie tales that whisper through the most magical place on Earth. Disney World, with its enchanting castles, thrilling rides, and captivating characters, has always held a special place in our hearts. It's a place where dreams come true and imagination runs wild. The resort was developed by Walt Disney and his company, and it officially opened on October 1st, 1971. The creation and development of Disney World can be traced back to the 1960s, and its origin story is quite fascinating. After the success of Disneyland, which opened in Anaheim, California, in 1955, Walt Disney began envisioning an even larger and more ambitious project. He wanted a place where he could address some of the limitations he experienced with Disneyland, such as space constraints and urban encroachment. Disney referred to his new vision as the Florida Project. His idea was to create a resort that would include not only theme parks, but also hotels, golf courses, and a variety of recreational activities. In the early 1960s, Disney began secretly purchasing large tracts of land in Central Florida through various shell corporations to avoid a spike in land prices. By 1965, Disney had acquired about 27,443 acres. The project was officially announced on November 15, 1965, by Walt Disney himself, along with his brother Roy O. Disney and Florida Governor Hayden Burns. The announcement was made at a press conference in downtown Orlando. Unfortunately, Walt Disney passed away on December 15, 1966, before he could see the project come to fruition. His brother Roy O. Disney stepped in to oversee the construction and ensure Walt's vision was realized. Construction began in earnest in 1967. The initial phase focused on building the Magic Kingdom theme park, 2 hotels, the Contemporary Resort and the Polynesian Village Resort, and the necessary infrastructure to support the resort. The construction of Disney World involved several innovative techniques, such as the creation of an extensive drainage system to handle the swampy terrain, and the construction of the utilidors, a series of underground tunnels that allow employees and services to move around the park unseen by guests. Walt Disney World Resort officially opened on October 1st, 1971. The Magic Kingdom was the first theme park to open, along with the Contemporary Resort and the Polynesian Village Resort. The resort was an immediate success, drawing large crowds and quickly establishing itself as a premier vacation destination. Following the initial success, the resort continued to expand. Notable additions include the opening of Epcot Center, now Epcot, in 1982, Disney's Hollywood Studios, originally Disney MGM Studios, in 1989, and Disney's Animal Kingdom in 1998. Over the years, Disney World has continued to grow and evolve, adding new attractions, hotels, and entertainment options to maintain its status as a top tourist destination. Our first stop takes us deep into the shadowy depths of Adventureland, to one of Disney World's most iconic attractions, Pirates of the Caribbean. This beloved ride whisks us away to a world of swashbuckling adventure. But legend has it that a tragic accident during its construction left behind a spirit with an unquenchable thirst for mischief. The story goes that a construction worker named George met an untimely end while working on the attraction. While the exact details of his demise remain murky, some say he fell from the scaffolding. Others whisper of a fatal plunge into the murky waters below. Whatever the cause, George's spirit is said to have never left the attraction he helped build. Cast members who work on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride will tell you that George is more than just a spooky story. He's a mischievous presence, known for causing all sorts of technical difficulties, especially if he feels ignored. From boats mysteriously stopping to audio animatronics going haywire, George seems to have a knack for disrupting the ride in his own ghostly way. But fear not, for George isn't necessarily a malevolent spirit. In fact, many cast members believe that he simply enjoys playing pranks and reminding everyone of his presence. Over the years, a tradition has emerged among cast members to keep George happy and the ride running smoothly. Every morning before the park opens its gates to eager visitors, it's said that cast members make it a point to greet George. This isn't your typical good morning, though. Cast members whisper a greeting to the empty ride, acknowledging George's presence and letting him know that he's still a part of the pirate crew. Some even go as far as leaving him a small gift, like a piece of jewelry or a trinket, in a hidden spot within the attraction. While these rituals might seem unusual to outsiders, they are taken quite seriously by those who work at the attraction. Whether it's superstition or genuine belief, one thing's for sure: the legend of George the Pirate adds an extra layer of intrigue to the already captivating Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So, next time you're braving the high seas alongside Captain Jack Sparrow, keep an ear out for any strange noises or unexpected ride stoppages. It just might be George, the mischievous spirit of the Caribbean, reminding everyone that even in the afterlife, he's still got a few tricks up his sleeve. From the swashbuckling adventures of pirates, we venture now to a realm where the veil between the living and the spectral is at its thinnest: the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion, an iconic attraction at Disneyland and Disney theme parks worldwide, is shrouded in numerous ghost stories and urban legends. Among these tales is the legend of Timmy, a young boy whose ghost is said to haunt the mansion. The story goes that Timmy was a boy who loved visiting Disneyland. Sadly, he passed away at a young age. His mother, devastated by his loss, spread his ashes in the Haunted Mansion ride, believing it was his favorite attraction. Since then, parkgoers and staff have reported sightings of a ghostly boy within the mansion. Reports often describe guests and employees sometimes hear the sound of a child giggling or playing, even when no children are present. Some claim to have seen a young boy in vintage clothing wandering the halls or appearing suddenly in ride photos. Touching and pulling. A common report is feeling a light tug on their clothing or a small hand holding theirs, only to turn and find no one there. The story of Timmy ties into a broader and somewhat macabre tradition associated with the Haunted Mansion. For many years, grieving families have attempted to scatter the ashes of their loved ones within the ride. Despite Disney's clear policies against this practice, it persists due to the mansion's spooky ambiance and the perceived comfort it might offer to the departed and their families. Disney has a strict policy against the scattering of ashes on their property. When staff suspect or discover that ashes have been spread, the area is temporarily closed and cleaned thoroughly, often involving a special vacuum and thorough sanitation measures. The practice poses health and safety concerns, and Disney does not permit it, despite the persistence of this urban legend and the occasional attempt by guests. The story of Timmy and the tradition of leaving ashes at the Haunted Mansion contribute to the ride's eerie mystique. While these tales enhance the spooky experience for some, Disney continues to discourage such activities to maintain the safety and enjoyment of all guests. Next up is The Woman in White. The story revolves around the appearance of a mysterious woman dressed in white, who is sometimes seen riding alone in one of the ride vehicles. According to the legend, she has long, flowing hair and a serene expression. Cast members and guests alike have reported sightings of this apparition over the years. The origins of the legend are unclear, but the story seemed to have emerged shortly after the ride's opening in 1982. Here are some common elements reported in various sightings. The woman in white is typically seen riding alone in a vehicle. Sometimes, guests notice her sitting in an empty car in front of or behind them. Other times, cast members spot her on the ride's monitoring screens. Witnesses often report that she vanishes before the end of the ride. This can happen suddenly, either by fading away or simply not being there when the vehicle reaches the unloading area. Despite her ghostly appearance, the woman in white is often described as having a peaceful, almost comforting presence. She is not associated with any malevolent or frightening behavior. Various theories attempt to explain the legend of the woman in white. Some speculate she might represent a historical figure related to communication, possibly woven into the ride's theme. Others believe she could be a form of residual energy or a spirit attached to the attraction. Given the immersive and sometimes eerie atmosphere of dark rides, it is also possible that the legend is a product of imagination and suggestion, enhanced by the ride's dim lighting and historical vignettes. While there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of the woman in white, her story adds a layer of mystery and enchantment to the Disney experience. Urban legends like this thrive in theme parks due to their blend of fantasy and reality, making places like Disney World fertile ground for such tales. In the end, whether the woman in white is real or a creation of collective imagination, she remains a fascinating part of Disney lore, contributing to the rich tapestry of stories that make Disney World a place of wonder and intrigue. Our next stop on this ghostly tour takes us to the heart of Main Street, USA, to a place that holds a special kind of magic, even in the afterlife. Above the fire station, overlooking the crowds and nostalgic charm, lies Walt Disney's apartment, a timeless reminder of the man who made it all possible. While Walt is no longer with us, his presence is said to linger in this cherished space. The most enduring sign of his enduring spirit is a single lamp, always kept burning in the window, a beacon of warmth and welcome that has become a symbol of Walt's enduring legacy. Cast members and guests alike have reported seeing the lamp flicker on and off, even when no one is inside. Some believe it's Walt himself signaling his presence, overseeing his beloved park from beyond the veil. Is it a technical glitch, a whimsical tribute, or something more profound? The story of the maid and the light in Walt Disney's apartment at Disneyland is a popular legend often shared by Disney enthusiasts. Walt Disney's apartment allowed him to oversee the park's development and operations discreetly. According to the legend, after Walt Disney passed away in 1966, a maid was cleaning his apartment and noticed that the lamp in the window was still on. She turned it off before leaving, but upon returning later, she found the lamp was on again. She reportedly turned it off several times, only to find it on each time she returned. Eventually, she left the lamp on, and it has remained lit ever since, as a tribute to Walt Disney's lasting presence in the park. This lamp in the window of the apartment has become a symbolic gesture, representing Walt Disney's spirit and enduring legacy at Disneyland. Visitors to the park can see the lamp still lit in the window above the fire station on Main Street, USA, a poignant reminder of Disney's vision and influence. Do you want one more ghost tale of Disney? Okay, here is a bonus story. It's the tale of the monorail ghost. The story of the monorail ghost at Disney World is one of the many urban legends and ghost stories associated with the park. This particular tale is both tragic and eerie, adding an element of mystery to the magical atmosphere of Disney World. The legend dates back to June 1966, when a young man named Thomas Guy Cleveland tried to sneak into Disneyland. Cleveland, a 19-year-old, attempted to enter the park by climbing a fence and walking along the monorail track. Unfortunately, as he was making his way along the track, a monorail train approached. Despite attempts to evade it, he was struck and tragically killed. Over the years, park employees and guests have reported seeing a spectral figure around the monorail tracks, particularly near the spot where the accident occurred. Descriptions of the ghost vary, but common elements include: many reports describe seeing a young man dressed in a white t-shirt, similar to what Cleveland was wearing at the time of his death. Witnesses often claim the figure appears suddenly and then vanishes just as quickly, sometimes seen walking along the tracks or standing at a distance, watching. The ghost is most frequently reported during late-night hours when the park is quieter, adding to the eerie atmosphere. As with many urban legends, the story of the monorail ghost has several variations and has evolved over time. Some versions suggest the ghost tries to warn others to stay away from the tracks, while others claim the ghost is simply reenacting his final moments, eternally walking the path that led to his untimely demise. The monorail ghost story is part of a broader collection of ghost stories and legends that surround Disney theme parks. These tales contribute to the park's rich tapestry of folklore, blending the magic of Disney with the timeless human fascination with the supernatural. Whether believed as true encounters or enjoyed as spooky tales, stories like that of the monorail ghost add an extra layer of intrigue to the Disney experience. Have you ever visited Disney? Do you have a story to tell? Let me know in the comments. Please be sure to subscribe for more haunting from around the world.